Hey, what's up everybody? Landon with LMR.com's Dyno Day. And we have another engine dyno. This time we're featuring Ford Performance 363 cubic inch bottom end paired up with the SVE 185cc cylinder heads.
But wait, there's more.
We're also going to be dynoing a set of AFR Enforcer 185cc cylinder heads. The engine dyno is going to take place at Ted Eaton's. Ted owns and operates Eaton Balancing. He's been doing this for a very, very long time and is extremely knowledgeable with internal combustion engines. He's done probably just about every engine imaginable, but does have a very strong specialty in the Ford Y-block stuff. If you want to know a little bit more about Ted, read some of his very, very knowledgeable articles. We'll have a link to his website in the video description. Not to mention, Ted's an old school guy. He's got some neat vintage stuff around the shop, and I think we probably spent as much time talking about all the cool stuff that we saw that we did dynoing the engine. All right, so back over to the engine. Ever since we brought back the SVE cylinder heads to the product offering here at LMR.com, we've been excited and we've been anxious to do some engine dynos with both the 170cc and the 185cc heads, accompanied with parts that we sell. Some of the engine internals, the short block, distributor, plug wires, etc. Wanted this to be kind of enthusiast-minded. We're not chasing a bunch of racy stuff. We're not chasing a bunch of specialty stuff. This is very much a street performance engine, if you wanted to put it in some sort of category. So the Ford Performance 363 cubic inch engine is exactly that, 363 cubic inches of displacement. Part number M6009-363. This is outfitted with some pretty trick stuff. We've got a scat forged steel crankshaft, scat I-beam rods, Molly or Mala, however you want to enunciate that, forged pistons, and then kind of some more itemized details for it would be the 4125 bore, the 340 stroke. It is a 302 based engine. That's how you get a 363 cubic inch displacement from a 302 is stroke and bore. The way you obtain the larger bore for the 302 stroker is the Boss block. This is a Boss block, so 4-bolt main and then the 8.2 inch deck height. This engine is internally balanced, and then it's painted in the dark Ford blue. Looks really good sitting here on the engine stand, and I know it would look good in whatever it goes in. Sticking with the short block, we did install a Trickflow Stage 3 camshaft. That camshaft has an operating range of 3,200 RPM to 6,800 RPM. Not gonna get down the rabbit hole of camshaft specs. Definitely encourage you to go check out the product page for all that information. The Trickflow Stage 3 camshaft does have a rough idle, and it sounds pretty wicked. So sitting up top here on the 363 cubic inch short block will be a pair of SVE 185cc cylinder heads. Now just a quick refresher on these particular heads. They have CNC ported intake runners, exhaust runners, and the combustion chamber. It'll have a 58cc combustion chamber, 185cc intake runner, 70cc exhaust runner. It'll have a true dual valve spring setup with a max lift of 600 thousandths. We dressed the SVE heads with 3/8 stud mount, Scorpion 1.6 ratio roller rockers, and then the pushrod link was determined by our valve train geometry. That's gonna differ from engine to engine. And then moving up the engine, on top of the SVE heads will be a Edelbrock Performer RPM air gap carburetor intake. This intake has an operating range of 1,500 to 6,500 RPM. This is a dual plane intake, should work out great for this engine combination. Then as far as our carburetor is concerned, we'll use one that Ted provides since he knows that thing front and back, to be a 750 CFM carb, which is plenty for this particular engine. Now for a quick rundown on the AFR Enforcer 185s. Of course, additional product info will be available on the product page. The 185 Enforcer AFRs will have a 64cc combustion chamber, a 185cc intake runner, 64cc exhaust runner, a 202 intake valve, 160 exhaust valve, and then they're dressed with Pack Racing true dual valve springs with a max lift of 600 thousandths. All right, so moving into the compression ratios, as well as some other details related to the dyno technical data. The static compression ratio for the SVE heads is 10.7 to 1. That's what most of us know when we talk about engines and its compression ratio. There is another ratio that is equally or more important depending on the engine, and that is DCR. It's short for dynamic compression ratio. Dynamic compression ratio is calculated with the same values as static compression ratio with the addition of rod length and the intake valve closing events from the camshaft. To not overcomplicate this, kind of the way Ted told us was that when an engine is kind of on the threshold of being pump gas capable, the dynamic compression ratio becomes much more important than the static compression ratio. Dynamic compression ratio for the SVE heads is 7.68 to 1. The 185 Enforcer AFRs, our static compression ratio will be 9.99 to 1, and then the dynamic compression ratio will be 7.26 to 1. So some other dyno technical data will be the accessory drive. Traditionally, you don't see accessories on an engine dyno. You usually just see an electric water pump and a harmonic balancer. But for us, we wanted to turn a few accessories just to do it. So we've got the reverse rotation water pump up front, and then in order for the reverse rotation water pump to work correctly and to get the belt routed in the direction and orientation it needed to go, also put an alternator on the accessory drive. Both of which, from Ted's knowledge of doing this over all the years, roughly take about 6 horsepower apiece. So you do some simple math, that's a total of 12 horsepower, and we'll kind of lightly throw that in at the end of the video when we talk about the results. Ambient temperature above the dyno near the carburetor was about 100 degrees, pretty warm, and then the relative humidity was 42%. Bolted to the SVE heads were a set of long tube dyno headers, and then bolted to that was just some simple down pipes to direct the exhaust outside. We're using 93 pump gas, had an ethanol content of about 4%. Total timing for the 3 runs we're gonna show here on video was 36 degrees. For each run, or at least the early runs before these 3 we're gonna show here on video, Ted looked over timing as well as fiddled with the carb to make sure all that was kosher. All right, so let's get into some runs. Run number 1 was still kind of a short run, still somewhat playing around with it. Kind of a quick pull, 3,500 to 5,500 RPM. Again, still somewhat kind of feeling it out. The engine made 485.7 horsepower at 5,700 RPM, and then 496.5 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM. This run did tell us that everything looked good, so it was time for a full RPM pull. All right, so checking out run number 2. Not to mention, this thing sounds absolutely incredible. Run 2, 495.1 horsepower at 5,800 RPM. Max or peak torque was 506 at 4,400 RPM. And you can see here, even in the low RPM range at 2,500, we've got 400 plus pound-feet of torque all the way through the entire run. Got a nice pretty graph, making some good power. And just because we can, we made a 3rd hit just because it felt right to us. All right, so run number 3, it pretty much mimicked run 2, gave up a little horsepower, picked up a little torque. Peak power, 492.2 at 5,600 RPM, and then peak torque was 508 at 4,400 RPM. So loaded this engine on the engine dyno. Ted told us that we could probably expect somewhere around 1.3 to 1.5 horsepower per cubic inch. Anything extra is an added bonus. For us, we wanted to be around the 500 horsepower mark, 500 pound-feet of torque. That's exactly where we're at with this engine. If we jump back over to graph 2, and if you do the math on 495.1, let's see here, 495.1 divided by 363 cubic inch, 1.36 horsepower per cubic inch, so right on the money. Now, if we go back to what I was talking about earlier with the accessory drive, we got an alternator and a water pump that's pulling approximately 12 horsepower. Throw those aside, and let's just role play here. You take those away, you got a 507 horsepower, 363 cubic inch engine at the flywheel, which is great for kind of a street performance built engine. You know, again, weren't chasing anything racy here, weren't chasing anything out of the ordinary. We wanted to build this with the possible intent of putting it into one of our shop cars so that we can, you know, take down the road and still get some decent drivability out of it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the AFR Enforcer 185cc cylinder heads made, which for context, everything remained the same with the exception of the cylinder head swap. So the best run for the AFR 185s netted 469.9 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, and then 499.2 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM. All right, so taking a look at the two runs from both heads, with the extra compression ratio, the SVE heads made 25.2 more horsepower and 6.8 pound-feet of torque more than the AFR 185cc heads. Now, both cylinder heads are a great option. I think it goes without saying. Like a lot of things, it boils down to personal preference and what's going to work best for your build with your particular setup. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. Again, enthusiast-minded 363 cubic inch engine. All the parts you see featured here, or I should say most of the parts that you see featured here with this engine, are all available at lmr.com. As always, especially with engines and dynos, we love your feedback. Comment below what you think. We're gonna sign off. If you find value in what we do, please consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. And then until we see you in the next one, for all things small block Ford, keep it right here with the real enthusiast, lmr.com.